Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play Minecraft Magically Modded series. I've been having some trouble with the void chest over with my tunnel boring machine. Been unable to figure out what's causing the problem, so I finally broke down and installed the ender chest, ender storage mod. And we're going to start off by replacing our void chest on our tunnel boring machine with ender chest and see if that works. Think if I counted right, I'm going to need 5 of them. That, and what am I missing? Nope. Oh yes, this. That and see, we need going to use the white ones for the input, I guess, and we'll use these for the output. Yes, that should be right. Okay, so let's go place these. I think that's right. Okay. We'll start with our stuff over in our warehouse. I've started digging the downward section and notice that this cannot quite keep up. We're going to need quite a lot more solar panels, and also we aren't producing anywhere near enough arcane singularities from the stuff we're mining, nor are these smelting the cobblestone fast enough, even taking into account the lack of power. So all those are going to be a problem for us. Let's see, this is input there, should be fine, and this is output. Like that. I think we're going to end up probably having 2 of these here somehow, maybe eventually, so I can have 2 regulators, one for the stone and one for the singularities and other stuff. But I will probably do that in another episode. Let's go head over to the actual machine now. Let's see. I think today we're probably going to test this out. Try to get it underground and get the tunnel started. Hopefully, once I've gotten these chests replaced, we can do that. See, we'll need to get rid of you. And you are the, I guess we should place that from the inside so it looks right. Probably want to move that up one anyway. Well, maybe another time. Oh, that's strange. Okay. I must need to readjust that. Okay, let's see what else is there. Oh yes, the other ones. So, there's a chest here. I need to do that from the outside. Do I have my carpet? Yes. Okay. Like I said, I couldn't figure out what was causing the problem with these. They would work sometimes, and then they would just stop working for no apparent reason. So I couldn't figure it out. it didn't matter if I relogged or anything. Sometimes it would work and just sometimes it wouldn't. Even though the patch notes said that it is supposed to be fixed working with frames and such. Okay, so that should be everything we need there. I do need one more chest here. So it looks like I miscounted. Yep, I definitely need one more chest there. But I can replace that later. We have enough, I think, to do the whole tunnel I have planned. Let's see about actually getting this down there. Let's see, break that here. Yeah. Okay. Need to go up and over. Okay, that should do that. And once we've gotten that done, let's hop up here. Where did that come from? Did I break something I didn't mean to? What is orange? Orange is you? Where did that come from? I don't know. Okay. Well then, we'll just ignore it. What was I doing? Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, that was not good. Right. I think we're set now. Now we should be set. Nope, one more? Oh no, now it's set. Okay. So I just need to do that, then I can break these, and one of these. Crap, I did not mean to do that. Stupid thing. Okay. Now I have no idea which way you're facing. This is going to be a pain. Let me fix this and be right back. Okay, got it fixed. So then we just do that. And yeah, I think if we just move down, they should be fine. Let's see. Whoops, we're still going up, aren't we? Darn. Okay. Wrong direction. So anyway, we need to move that down. Then once we do that, we can disconnect it here. Move this up and over, and then connect it to that car, and just keep stacking them. Once we got this one disconnected, we'll have to start controlling it from the rear car though. That's just a matter of changing out the bundle cable. So let me get this down to the right height, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got it at the right level. There was one more change I wanted to make. Guess we can go ahead and get this going. I wanted to make some of these teleport things. Let's make sure this is the right one. Right type. Yes. Okay. I have this big column. And we'll put another one in here. Right here looks good. And just right there hopefully will work. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah, that works. Excellent. Maybe I should put a lever there to keep that from running all the time. I don't know if I have any levers on me. But I should have some over here. Come on. Okay. That should work. And I think I'll put a third one in the warehouse. Or something like that. That didn't work. Maybe it doesn't transfer power to the seal properly. I guess we'll just have to live with it. Strange. Okay, so while that's digging out, I'm going to do a new command. Let's see, I think we're on the fourth chunk, fourth block. Yes. I'm going to make a command to move a fixed number of things. And this command is going to... Okay, it still works. It's just... Okay. This command is going to assume that you have these hooked up to black, which you can do by routing a black cable around, putting a panel here, because the ends are connected to, or the, how to say this, the bundle cable from the engine car is set to connect right. How can we do this? Set to be right there on whichever side the engine car is on. So you can take out these toggle latches, put a panel here, and then just run it up and connect it to all sides. And then you could toggle the arcane boards on and off from the computer. Just put a panel on the ones you don't want connected. Okay, turn that back off. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is going to define a couple of variables. The first of which we're going to call drill. We'll just call it D delay for drill delay. Okay, and then we'll define that to be a variable that's correct. And then we'll initialize it. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I haven't done any tests yet. Let's say, I don't know. It's 15 minutes. That would be 6,000 ticks. Store that. It's just a guess. I'll do some tests later if I ever use this. I'm not going to need it for the tunnel I plan on building first, but I may need it sometime in the future, or y'all may want to have this. Let's do the next variable. We're going to have it called bit range. Oops. And this variable is going to be the that. Simple enough. We'll initialize this to 40 because that's the range I'm using for most of these. And then let's go ahead and do 15. Load, what are we on for? Go ahead and tell it to load the next one. This is going to be a very long word. Very, very long word. So I'm going to give it its entire own block. And I think these are the only variables I will need. I may have to come back and define some more. Let's go flash 5 list. Save that. Alright, I forgot about that. But I'll clean this. There. Anyway, I'm going to type in the new command. I'm going to call it see move in. Yes, that's what it's going to be called. I'm going to do things a bit different than I did before and have this something like that. Yes. So I'm going to define this big whole word, and then I'll be back once I've done it and explain everything. Okay, I've programmed some commands. I've changed this how I was going to do this. After some trial and error, I determined that this machine moves slow enough that you can just leave the arcane bore on without having to pause between. I had thought the arcane bore would be drilling slower than the machine was moving, but that's not the case. So you can do this a lot simpler. The first command we have is move in, which just moves it in blocks in whichever direction is defined in the direction variable. Another command is move in drill, which will move it in blocks minus bit length. So you can define the end of the tunnel that way. So if I wanted the end of the tunnel to be 100 blocks from where the drill is now, I would type move in drill, and the machine would stop drill length away and let that drill out, and then you can use the move in command after you turn off the arcane bore to finish the tunnel lining portion. The next command is move in to in, and this is for things like going around corners and such, where you would want to only do a section of the lining, like not starting from the beginning but somewhere in the middle. So for instance, if I wanted to do the second 5, I would do 10, 6, move into in, and that would move me 5 blocks and do the middle 5 section of the lining. If you do need to do the bit delay, or for some reason you want to do the bit delay, the command is quite a bit more complicated. It is all of this in one word. You can't actually define words over multiple lines on it from a disk, but you can if you type it manually. If you wanted to do it on a disk, you would have to condense these things down so that it all fits on one line by creating a lot of subwords. I've tried to explain this a few times, tried to record an explanation. It's just a bit difficult to do, so I'm going to give you a very general description. The first thing we do is see how far this is from the... We divide this thing up, the length you define, into sections. How many times the closest multiple of bit length. Let's see. First we need to determine the closest multiple of 15 to bit length. Bit length, the closest multiple. I'm not saying that right. We round bit length to the nearest 15. That's what I want to say. Then we find how many times that can, or we divide the number of blocks we want to move into chunk of that number, and then we move in those chunks, pausing between them. So right here we're moving between those, in those chunks, pausing between them to drill. And at that point, when we reach here, we're at I think I did something. Okay, no, when we reach here, we're at block or bit length away from the endpoint. So we activate the drill one more time, and then we move the rest of the way without the drill being on. And the other part, this stuff here, is just to, if the number of blocks we want to move is less than bit range, it'll skip a lot of the code, so that you don't try to move a negative amount of blocks or something. That's not a very good explanation. If a lot of people want something more detailed, I will try to make a video with some visual aids or something. I think that would maybe be a better explanation. But I've actually drilled quite a long tunnel, so let's go look at what I've done. Not this way, this way. And let me get over there. I got the cart down relatively easy enough. It was a bit of a minor pain to get everything done. Once it got down, things started going quite well. it's a lot faster than I was expecting it to be overall, because you don't need that delay, and certainly a lot faster than having to do this by hand. The cost in Arcane Singularities was not too bad, given the amount of resources that you pull out. There's also all this lava here, but I actually kind of wanted the wood to burn away to reveal the lava because I intend to pump it out. Other than getting rid of the lava and replacing the floor, which we can do easily enough, there is the roof I have to do manually, and a few changes I want to, or probably want to make with the machine itself. Things that I've learned from doing this. So let me go back to the machine now that you've seen the tunnel. I forgot to explain these. The move in command is essentially the same as move 15, except that you're passing the upper value, and then I is the counter for the loop. You're dividing the loop by 15 and taking the remainder of that and passing that to move 1 using the lining. So it's very similar to move 15. And this last part here, after running this for a while, I kept wondering how far along it was. So I added this here to print how far it's moved. And the move in drill, I had made a mistake here. I left out a minus sign. So this just subtracts the upper value, or the number of blocks you want to move, subtracts bit range from that, checks to see if that number is greater than 0. If it is, then it runs move in on the number of blocks you want to move minus bit range. If not, it just drops the extra value from the stack and then exits the work. Not a very complicated thing. And this functions pretty much the same way, except for just subtracting 1 from the lower value because of the way the loops count and the way the index is, starting at 0 instead of 1. And then doing pretty much the same thing as move in, which you could actually almost substitute move in here, but not quite. Just doesn't have the 0 there. Again, with the print out command, just for telling you how far along you are. Now then, on to the changes. One thing is there isn't quite enough power for what my original minimum requirement was, having enough power for 1,000 blocks. We don't quite have that much. We barely had enough to get the I guess it was 200 or 300 blocks that I moved in this last chunk. And I've dug out here. This is the first intersection. See, drilled out both sides there. We'll be going around that corner this way to start with. And this is starting to recharge now. It does take quite a while to recharge. It's another thing I'm not happy with. Also, getting outside of the machine is a little bit difficult. I've added this ender chest because this wasn't quite pushing stuff out far enough for this. Though I've left this here because things are getting caught when you move forward while this is on. Blocks will drop. You get kind of stuck in right here. So this will pull them up. Next thing, for the drill bits, I need to add another filter and another set of tubes to come in from the top of these 4 side ones to get the bits in as well. Right now, the filter will not put them in. It'll only fill up the bottom slot. So I need to do that and see if I can do that while maintaining the structural integrity of this thing, this car. Let's see, I think maybe adding more power cores may be necessary or something to do with that. I need to think on that. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about the power situation yet. And what else is there? I think that's pretty much it. Everything else seems to be working pretty well. Keeping these filled is a little bit of a chore, but it's not too bad. They do have enough blocks to run for quite a while. It's just the half slabs that you have to go make specially take a little bit of time. But other than that, things are pretty well. So I think I'm going to end the episode here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Subscribe if you're not, like if you like.